What you are seeing on your screen, right here and down there, is it's not a hoax. It's not a joke. It's not like a hurtful prank that I am pulling on you. Sean Strickland has beaten Hamzat Chimaev via split decision, and Joshua Van has knocked out Taira in the fifth round. And I think world peace is around the corner. Just of all how things are going, world peace is right around the corner. My goodness. Um, I'm gonna go over all the fights that happened on UFC 328. Overall, not the best card. The endings are really what carried it. If I'm being honest, the co-main event carried it. But this was, there's some good fights, interesting fights. Of course, the outcomes are the best part. But let's go over each and every single fight, starting at the early prelims of Jose Ochoa versus Clayton Carpenter. Jose Ochoa just beat the brakes off of Clayton Carpenter. Give me a second. Maybe now they'll show the strikes. There we go. So Jose Ochoa, I thought he would get it done in the second. He didn't. Jose Ochoa beats up Clayton Carpenter for 3 rounds straight, just putting volume, heavy hands on Clayton Carpenter. Round 1, 25-60, 23-54, with Jose Ochoa knocking down Carpenter in the first. Round 2, 25-51, 51-25, and then round 3, 20-69, with one takedown for Carpenter and 20-48. Jose Ochoa beat the brakes off of Clayton Carpenter. Now, I will say Jose Ochoa needs to work on the finishing combinations. I feel like there was a lot of times where if he just pushed a little bit further or extended a combination, he could have gotten the finish. But I get wanting to play it safe. But he is nasty. I told you in the prediction video, Jose Ochoa is a nasty man. Body shots, power, volume combinations. He doesn't let you get away with things for free, He will take any advantage that you give him and make you regret giving him that advantage. He is nasty, dude. And I know flyweight. I know how to spot a good flyweight. But yeah, great win for Jose Ochoa. Like I said, I thought he'd get it done in round 2. I thought he'd get a round 2 finish. Said he goes for an utter domination. 30-27, no 10-8 rounds. I think round 1 could have been a 10-8, but I get not giving it. He only dropped him once. Sometimes they like a two drops for a 10-8, but I think round 1, there's an argument. But yeah, great one for Jose Ochoa. I'm starting off strong, dude. And then moving up, Bison Gursukhaev, Jordan Santos. And once again, Bison Gursukhaev makes this a bit of a war when it shouldn't be. Round 1, 21-19. It's pretty even. For round 1 and 2, it's kind of tit for tat. Of course, Susukhaev's landing the better shots, in my opinion, landing the more impact shots. But, of course, Jordan Santos is staying in there, trading back with Bison Susukhaev, making him, like Susukhaev would hit like a 2-piece combination, and Jordan Santos would hit like a 1-piece back. Nothing too crazy. They were just trading with Bison Susukhaev, getting the advantage. Round 2, 66-54, 56-45. Again, same thing. Susukhaev doing a little bit better, doing some clinch work. Had a nasty elbow in round 2 that cut like right on top of Jordan Santos' head. So he did win, I think, round 2. I don't know if he won round 1. He may have lost round 1 on some judges' scorecards. And then round 3, Susukhaev apparently broke his hand, is what he said in the post-fight press conference. So he broke his hand, so he had to get the submission. And Jordan Santos just gets toppled over, gives up his back, and gets rear naked choked. In round 3, to Bison Susukhaev. Once again, I'm not on this hype train for Bison Susukhaev, But, he is winning, so there is something to it. But he's making things a lot more difficult than it should. 49-19, 1 takedown, 1 sub attempt, 30-14. Got him done by rear naked choke in the third. Decent win for Bison Susukhaev. I thought he'd make it to a decision. He gets the submission in the third to really put a bow tie on that win for him. Moving up, Pat Sabatini, William Gomez. I thought Sabatini wouldn't be such a monster to the sport, but he was. 16-8, 1 takedown, 3-2 on significant strikes. That's real. Round 2, 31-20, 1 takedown, 8-10 significant strikes. And then 31-26, 1 takedown, 14-11 significant strikes. basically Sabatini is just playing the I'm gonna hold you down game. That's kind of Sabatini's whole thing, and it is very boring. It's awful. Um, he honestly lost round two because I think William Gomez hit like a nasty body kick on Pat Sabatini. But Sabatini gets another one, dude. How good is Diego Lopez, who dealt with Sabatini with like no ease, no sweat on Diego Lopez's brow to put this guy out. But he's a monster, you know. He's got some volume, not volume in terms of striking, takedown volume. He's got a good, decent gas tank. He'll be on you quick. He's very quick in getting down, getting low when he needs to. And Gomez just kind of let it happen, let the fight get away from him. Didn't really push too much, and it's shown because he lost a decision when he could have very well won if he made some pushes in the third. But you know, he loses. Pat Sabatini gets the decision. I thought he'd get a submission in round two, just because how close Francis Marshall was and Jordan Sombrito were in moments. But Sabatini, I forgot, doesn't like to have any fun and is awful and boring. So that's why I should never pick Sabatini to get a finish. Moving up, Roman Kopylov, Marco Tulio, my first incorrect pick. And let me say, round one, I think Marco Tulio's got this. You know, he's peppering the jab to the body, low kicks. And Roman Kopylov is getting close to doing his lead right hand counter on Tulio because Marco Tulio is wading in with his left lead hand down here. He'll do this, and instead of doing this, he goes like this. And so I'm getting scared, but Marco Tulio's doing some good. Roman Kopylov keeps on circling to Marco Tulio's power side. So Tulio's doing a good job of doing like a jab into pulling his head into that head kick while Kopylov's moving into the power side. Hits Kopylov with two good head kicks. Kopylov's doing some good body kicks, couple good head kicks, some good jabs. They're trading jabs back and forth. Round one I give to Marco Tulio. Okay, 15-22, 22-15. They're all significant strikes. You know, Tulio's doing his thing. He's bleached his hair, and he's got the Philippians 4 whatever, the John Jones tattoo, and he's got the Charles Oliveira bleached hair. I was like, Kopylov may not survive. And then round two happens. And round two is kind of awful, because round two, Kopylov starts to learn, I'm going to throw my lead hook and my left straight down the pipe while Marco Tulio's blitzing in for his jab to the body or jab, and it works every single time. Marco Tulio, if he kept on doing low kicks, kept on doing body kicks, kept on doing his jab into the head kick, he may could have gotten this done, but he just got lazy. He got content with doing the same thing over and over again, and Roman Kopylov made the right reads, got it done, and starts just putting a whooping on Marco Tulio. Does his thing, slips the jab, kind of pulls back, right hand counter, left hand down the pipe, drops Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio is in .05 speed. When he gets dropped, like he is like, ooh. And then he stands up. So I thought it was going to be finished in the second, but Roman Kopylov is retarded because he drops Tulio in the middle of the octagon. Tulio has like barely worked his way up while getting dropped over and over. They get to the cage, and instead of separating, where Roman Kopylov could whip up a head kick or some body kicks or, you know, some good counters, he stays clinched up with Marco Tulio and lets the round two slip away from him. 23-36. We already went over this. 22-26. 3 knockdowns to none. And then round three happens, and guess what, dude? He doesn't stop. Again, Marco Tulio, it looks like he's doing good. He starts doing some different stuff. He starts throwing like a 1-2 now instead of just throwing his jab. But again, Kopylov, once again, as soon as Tulio starts throwing a 1-2, Kopylov's throwing that lead hand, and he's getting close each time until he eventually lands that lead hand left hook. I remember, actually, the one that dropped him in this third round, the lead hook didn't even land. He just threw it and then did that left hook down, or that left straight down the pipe. Sent Tulio flying backwards. Had him knocked on his butt. Took down Tulio for Kopylov's retarded. But yeah, knocked him down 3 times in round 3, 3 times in round 2, 6 knockdowns in total. Insane stuff. Maybe not. For sure he had 3 knockdowns in round 2 and 3. I don't know. But yeah, insane stuff for Roman Kopylov. You know, he's back on it, you know. Looking back, losing to RoboCop and Paulo Costa aren't bad, but I just thought Marco Tulio would throw in combinations because the Tresean Gore fight, if you look at that, he was throwing in some deadly combinations. Um, but this fight, he just was content with throwing a jab. Norma Dumont was not helping. Maybe she was distracting him. Maybe I mean she was facing him, so maybe she was turned around at some point and distracted Marco Tulio. But very disappointed with this performance because I thought he'd throw in some combinations or 1-2 body kick, 1-2 low kick, 1-2, something off of that. But he got content, and him being content got him dropped 6 times. So yeah, great win for Roman Kopylov. He's back in the win column. You know, maybe one fight away from being ranked, or maybe he'll get like a fringe top 15 fight. But good win for him, you dude. He was a big underdog. What was he? Plus 150. Never mind. Not a big underdog, but it was an underdog. Plus 155. Great work for Roman Kopylov. That's my first one wrong. And moving up. Ah, trying to sneeze. Jim Miller submits Jared Gordon round 1. Yeah, that happens. First of all, Jim Miller comes out swinging, and I thought he's about to KO Jared Gordon. Luckily, they do some grappling. Jim Miller shoots in. I think Jared Gordon stuffs it. They come up, and while coming up, Jim Miller crotch shots Jared Gordon right on the beans pretty badly. They separate. They go back at it. Jim Miller's throwing some. He throws a jab, leg kick, and Jared Gordon dips down to throw an overhand. And he goes, well, the leg's right here, so I'm going to throw this overhand and push you over while grabbing your leg. Cradles him, but Jim Miller latches up a guillotine while getting pushed down. Grabs Jared Gordon's neck, and Jared Gordon basically was sitting on Jim Miller's left leg so that he was able to either alligator roll out if he wanted to go that route or get across the body so that he'd have bridge and have space to breathe. Instead, Jared Gordon just keeps the leg, lets Jim Miller take the leg, wrap it around his body, put Jared Gordon in a body triangle, and then proceed to guillotine him out cold. Jared Gordon is retarded. Maybe that him getting hit by a car wasn't why he got nerfed in his last fight. Maybe he just sucks. But yeah, great win for Jim Miller. Made a lot of money. His child beat cancer, so I mean, it's a real feel-good story for Jim Miller. A lot of this card was feel-good stories. But yeah, great work for Jim Miller. Made some money. He signed a brand new fight contract. This was his last fight, and he signed another contract. I mean, if he's gonna keep on winning and keep on making money, there's no point in not keep on fighting. It keeps him in shape. It's good for him. He doesn't take too much damage besides like the Bobby Green fight. But he can still show these young whippersnappers or old unks a lesson or two still. So a great one for Jim Miller. I thought Jared Gordon would get this done by decision. He instead gets choked out in the first. Great stuff. Moving up, I'm done messing around. I picked the favorite, which should have been the underdog, because I only saw people picking Mateusz Rebecki to beat Grant Dawson. Guru, Bedtime, Okoye, No Bromo, Lorenzo, they all picked Mateusz Rebecki. I go, that is true, but Grant Dawson is really good at grappling. Mateusz Rebecki hasn't KO'd anybody in round 1 in like forever. I think Grant Dawson's going to get off some grappling, set a precedent, and get this done by decision. Or maybe submission. I may have said round 2 submission, I forgot. But let me just say this. Grant Dawson, let's work on the striking. Grant Dawson starts off round 1 and head kicks Rebecki. And because Rebecki has a cinder block for the head, it kind of wobbles him. Like, Rebecki gets wobbled by anything, but also nothing at the same time, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, he always looks wobbled once you hit him with something. So Dawson hits him with... By the way, let's stop throwing rear kicks, Dawson. Come on. Stop throwing rear kicks. I get you through the head kick and it worked, but throwing the same kick 80 times, it doesn't mean it's always going to work. Because Grant Dawson throws that rear head kick, gets a head kick. Rebecki's kind of all over the place. Dawson shoots in, and basically round 1 is Dawson on the back of Rebecki. Rebecki trying to survive. 24-9, 4 sub attempts, 1 reversal for Rebecki at the very end of the round, 13-8. Not too much is done round 1 besides the head kick. Great work. Round 2, Rebecki drops Dawson bad. Drops him bad. Dawson wades in, hands low. Like he didn't just get knocked out in his last fight. Like he hasn't been only KO'd in her only loss. He's wading in like his only losses aren't by KO in round one. So round two, he wades in, gets clipped with a right hand, passes out, wakes back up. Rebecca has some weak ground and pound. They grapple around a bit. Dawson survives. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dawson has the worst striking ever, dude. He has some decent hooks, but he wants that body kick or head kick or something so bad. Because he's stepping in and he loads up his rear by like doing like a Superman ripping his shirt open. I don't know. Rips his shirt open to throw that rear kick. To the body, to the head, to throw it as a knee. I don't know. He loves doing it and he gets clipped multiple times. But like I said, Rebecca doesn't have that much power. Why do you think he's going to war with Grant Dawson, who got dropped by Moicano? And he couldn't drop Chris Duncan once. Sorry, not Grant Dawson, Chris Duncan. He was going to war with not Ludwig Klein, because Ludwig Klein was just elbowing him from bottom. But he did nothing on the feet to Ludwig Klein. Matej Orbly is a welterweight. Oh, Mateusz Rebecki was out grappling Matej Orbly. He's really good at grappling. Orbly's a welterweight. Grant Dawson is a lightweight, if not a featherweight. I know Rebecki's small for the division, but he's thick and big. Dawson's like lithe and skinny for the division. He's basically a featherweight with really good grappling. So round two, it's kind of, Rebecki's got it. And then round three, Dawson just starts taking over, striking a lot better, landing some tidy hooks, doing a lot more head movement, like dipping and going off to the side, getting off the center line, so that Rebecki's wide hooks that he overthrows doesn't hit him. And at some point, he gets to the ground. I forgot how. Rebecca shoots in a lazy takedown pretty early in the round, actually. Dawson reverses it, stuffs it, reverses it, gets on the back. They end up fighting for a while, and right before the round ends, Grant Dawson sinks in a rear naked choke called... I don't know, he choked him like this or something. I don't know. But great one for Grant Dawson, I thought he'd get a submission in round two. Got a submission in round three. He's good, dude. He's good. He just has no chin and sucks at striking. But grappling, he's actually next level. He's scary good at grappling. You just need to work on that chin and striking. That's it. But yeah, great win for Grant Dawson. Boom, I'm back in the win column with a big underdog, in my opinion. Like I said, Grant Dawson was odds-wise the favorite, but everyone on YouTube was not picking Grant Dawson. Moving up, Yaroslav Amosov versus Joel Alvarez. Absolute destruction by Yaroslav Amosov. Absolute destruction. He treats Joel Alvarez with no respect. He's popping 1-1. I was a little scared on the feet, but Yaroslav Amosov just keeps him with a 1-1, in and out, 1-1. Gets him down in round one, keeps him down pretty well. 21-20, 4 takedown attempts for Yaroslav. Or 4 takedowns, he had 5 attempts. 7-16 significant strikes. Yaroslav was just keeping it on him, Is there knockdowns? Alvarez did not knock down Amosov, so this is a fake stat. That is cool. Basically, round one, they spent a lot of time on the ground. Amosov's just kind of keeping better position than him. Alvarez not being able to get too much off. It's up against the cage. He gets up. Amosov slams him down. Kind of that whole thing. They trade at the very end. It's Amosov's round. Round two, though, they start trading a little bit more. Alvarez has some crafty uppercuts. Or Alvarez throws, I think 8 or 9 shovel uppercuts in a row. And then Amosov just gets behind, throws up Alvarez in the air, slams him down. And while Alvarez is turning over to build his base and get back up, Amosov uses that turn, turns it into a triangle choke, gets him out in round two early, 1 minute and 13 seconds into round two, and then starts breakdancing on him. Insane stuff for Yaroslav Amosov. I thought it'd be a decision, but he just treated Joel Alvarez like he was not supposed to be there, which I did say I think Joel Alvarez was at light heavyweight for a reason. He wanted to weight bully. He wanted to be a big guy at light heavyweight so he can use his frame to his advantage. But now, he's still bigger than Amosov, but it doesn't matter because he's got the skills. So yeah, great one for Yaroslav Amosov. Book him against Sean Brady. Book him against Usman, like something like that. I don't know. But great win for Yaroslav Almasov. And finally on the prelims, Ateba Gutierrez, Ozzy Diaz. Now, round one, I think, 16 to 6, 12 to 4. Ozzy Diaz is taking some good shots from Gutierrez on the guard, of course, and a couple uppercuts that don't really land too clean. But Ozzy Diaz is, checking some kicks, throwing his own 1-1s, a couple jabs to the body. I'm thinking, okay, round two, though. And then he gets to the... Ozzy Diaz gets to his corner and goes, dude, this guy hits like a baby. This guy ain't got nothing. Who has this guy been sleeping? 3-year-olds? He ain't sleeping me. And then he gets slept in round two. 11 to 2. One knockdown for Gutierrez. He ducks Ozzy Diaz's lead hook, throws an overhand with it, sleeps him out cold. A little bit of an early stoppage, but it's fine because it's Ozzy Diaz. No one cares. But Ateba Gutierrez gets a KO. Work found in kitchen. The sky is blue. And electricity powers phones. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what do we expect? Give him a real challenge. For middleweight, they're going to give him like a GM3 or like a Jacob Malkoon or whoever lost to Philip Rowe. They're going to give him Torres Finney, actually. That's who it is. They're going to give Ateba Gutierrez Torres Finney. No, they won't do that because he actually may lose that. Good one for Ateba Gutierrez. I mean, he did do what he was supposed to. He was supposed to KO him. So, what else am I supposed to say? Moving up. Main card, one of my only other picks wrong. Yeah, because I already went over. So, this is my last pick that I got wrong. King Green just absolutely demolishes Jeremy Stephens. Now, he does kick Jeremy Stephens in the nuts. And Joe Rogan and DC. So, King Green, Robert Green, Rupert Green, obviously, like, he does a body kick where it's like the toes in the flat part of the foot hit Jeremy Stephens in the stomach, but Robert Green's heel is the thing that hit the cup, got caught up in the beans of Jeremy Stephens, and Rogan and DC are going, he's faking this. Rogan literally at some point in round 3, Grant Dawson had like a face crank on Mateusz Rebecki, where Mateusz Rebecki had his hand up, and Rogan goes, oh, he's out. And Rebecki's like moving around. It's a face crank. It's been on Mateusz Rebecki for 3 seconds. Rogan is retarded. DC is retarded. John Anik's retarded. The whole commentary team's retarded. I'm not any better because I was screaming like a madman for the co-main and main event, but, But yeah, so Jeremy Stephens was accused of faking getting nutshot by DC and Rogan, even though he did. And then King Green does King Green things. He's emoting, he's pointing, he's looking back and forth, he's looking to the side speaking. And Jeremy Stephens does crack King Green. I'm just going to call him Rupert Green, with a couple good shots, but Bobbert just stays in there, lands some good counters, shoots in a nasty takedown while Stephens overthrows a hook. And just takes him down and subs him, dude. I mean, I didn't think King Green would do that. I didn't think Rupert would do that, but he did. Subbed out Jeremy Stephens. I mean, Rupert's a good lightweight fighter. He's really good. He's only lost to the best of the best. I just thought Jeremy Stephens could get a fluke KO. I should have picked Rupert Green, but I just didn't. 64 to 7, one takedown, one sub attempt for both somehow. 57 to 5. Great one for Robert Green. Great win. Jeremy Stephens retired. R.I.P. I don't know what you want me to say, but, great one for Robert Green. Great win. Moving up. Joaquin Buckley, Sean Brady. Now, of course, if you know, there was huge fight odds shifting. Sean Brady is at minus 175 with Buckley being on plus 150. Come today, it was switched. They did a whole 180 where Sean Brady became a plus 150 and Joaquin Buckley was the favorite. Not sure why, not sure how. Apparently, people were saying that Sean Brady was injured. Didn't look like it because Sean Brady did what I thought he would. I thought he'd get a submission or a ground and pound finish. just because I saw Usman being so dominant, and I thought Sean Brady's a better grappler than Usman. He's going to be able to get something over Buckley, but he never really went for anything. He just wanted ground and pound, which, at least he was going for ground and pound. But Sean Brady just absolutely demolishes Buckley. For the full fight, Brady goes 245 total strikes to 21 and 4 takedowns out of 10 attempts, 77 significant strikes to 5 for the whole fight. Round 1, it's kind of even on the feet. You're not too sure what's happening. Brady shoots, I think, 2 takedowns that get stuffed by Buckley. You think, uh-oh, Buckley's learned how to get some underhooks. This could be a problem. And then Buckley goes in for a lazy leg kick, naked leg kick, and Brady goes, oh, okay, you're giving me a leg. And then he just runs over he runs over Joaquin Buckley, takes him down. That's the whole round. Takes full mount easily, is doing some gay punches. Hey, Sean Brady, elbows, 12-6. I don't know. Apparently New Jersey may not have 12-6, but just throw 12-6. But throw elbows, dude. Like, he did no damage to Buckley's face. You want to know why? Because you're not throwing elbows. You're playing whack-a-mole. You're choking the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing everything but punching Buckley and doing damage. But 34 significant strikes to 1, 51 total strikes to 1. Round 2, 90-11. Two takedowns with 4 attempts, 18-4. And again, round 2, Sean Brady just goes, all right, I'm just going to blast a double or single, get to Buckley's hips and just topple him over. And he does that 2 times, gets on top of Buckley, gets full mount a couple times, and it's just over. There's not too much else to say. When Sean Brady gets to full mount on Buckley, it's over. A lot more dominating than Usman. I think Sean Brady would whoop up on Usman in grappling. Striking, it'd be a little close, but I still think Brady would get that done. But Sean Brady's really good, dude. Sean Brady's really good. Round 3, 104 total strikes. Sean Brady was just going off trying to do anything in this round to 9 strikes from Buckley, 25-0 significant strikes for Buckley. I think Sean Brady had a couple chances to drop for like an arm bar. He really went for like Kimuras and arm triangles and an occasional one-arm guillotine. He just couldn't really get it off. Buckley had some good submission defense. But Sean Brady at least did some damage. Not damage. He at least punched him. So it was like something to look at. It was boring. Sean Brady's pretty boring. I would have preferred Buckley to win. But I had to pick Brady because if you just saw how Usman was able to ragdoll Buckley, and then you see Brady submit Edwards when Edwards made Usman work so much for a single takedown, you had to choose Brady just off that the levels in grappling shown. But great work from Brady. Great work. Whatever weird odd thing happened, it did not affect him at all because he still got it done with no problem. Feature fight of UFC 328, Alexander Volkov, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, many people are calling this a robbery. I'm not sure how. I had Volkov winning 1 and 2. He could have won the 3rd. I gave it to Waldo because he landed some better shots. But round 1, 33 total strikes to 15, with 33 significant strikes to 15. Volkov basically just spammed low kicks, body kicks, and maybe a jab per round, but it was mainly low kicks and body kicks. And Waldo Cortez Acosta just tanks it and then goes, okay, I'm going to jab at you now, and I'm going to miss. And he had a couple good jabs to the body and stuff, like once a round or something, not too much. But really, it was just Volkov staying at range, doing low kicks. Waldo Cortez Acosta would do like a big burst where he's throwing overhands, missing Volkov, and then they'd reset 34-22 on total strikes, same for significant strikes. And then round 3 is 21-17. It's a little bit closer. Waldo Cortez Acosta popped Volkov's nose in like round 2 where it's like started bleeding, and that's it. Where Volkov was like, Waldo Cortez Acosta was very ginger on that lead leg halfway in round 2. He landed a nice head kick and wobbled Waldo Cortez Acosta in round 2. I don't know if he actually wobbled it because I think Waldo Cortez Acosta was getting very, very, very upset with Volkov. Very upset. He was trying to get him to bring it on and stuff, so I think he faked getting wobbled by Volkov so that Volkov would kind of throw caution to the wind, try and get the finish, and then he'd, bam, sleep him like he kind of did against Elijah. But that didn't work because Volkov stayed confident. He stayed composed and gets the decision win. Like I said, I could have given Volkov all 3 rounds, but I'm fine with giving Costa the 3rd. But there's no way he wins 1 and 2. There's no way. Great one for Volkov. Like I said, he's just another level of heavyweight that Waldo Cortez Acosta just can't get to. So yeah, great one for Volkov. Moving up, co-main event. I mean, it's probably the most beautiful fight ever. Because first of all, I told you, body shots, body shots. Okay? Now, body shots weren't implemented until later, but still, they count. First of all, Joshua Van is a dog. He breaks the lack of custom shorts curse. As you know, if you're a champion and you don't have custom shorts, you're probably losing. Joshua Van breaks that curse. Round one, let's go round by round. Round one, I'm scared. Tetsuo Taira instantly shoots a takedown. He gets full mount. I'm horrified. But Joshua Van shrimps up, gets butterfly guard, kicks off Taira, works his way back up, and they're fighting. Joshua Van instantly in round one has found his jab on Taira, is slipping it in and out, is countering off of Taira's jab, and is making Taira work a lot. All right, of course, Taira did land 4 takedowns, so a couple of them were up against the cage, where it's like a takedown that Joshua Van initially stuffed, and then he went for a chained one. 7 significant strikes to 16. Taira definitely won round one. He just had better control. Joshua Van wasn't really able to get too much off, but he was able to survive getting full mounted by Taira twice. Twice, Taira had full mount on Joshua Van, and he's so small he can shrimp up easily. He can get butterfly guards very easily and just push you off and work his way back up. And I think his neck is so small it's hard to choke him. Like his neck is so small that you get stuck by his massive head before you get to his neck. And so you can't choke him. And then round two, dude. Round two. I mean, it's just beautiful. Round two, Joshua Van finds the jab, like I said, and he's working in and out. 47 to 16, 1 takedown for Taira. He got stuffed 2 more. Significant strikes 21 to 5. He knocks down Taira in this round. And let me say, in the Brandon Royval fight, I said this in the prediction. When Tatsuro Taira gets stuffed, he like shoves his head down and stays down there, and he's like dejected down there. Joshua Van sees that and goes, all right, let's throw some uppercuts. Let's do some of this and that. Tatsuro Taira does throw some good jabs, and he does have some pop on him that Van had to watch out for, but Van is just popping the jab, moving, sticking and moving, popping the right hand, jab, right hook, uppercut, stuff like that, staying on the move. Tatsuro Taira can't really get anything. He goes for low kicks, and at the very end of round two, as Tatsuro Taira is going for a low kick, Joshua Van, right hand down the pipe, drops Taira. It looked like he was out for a second, drops Taira. Joshua Van follows him into his guard. I was horrified. Starts hitting him. I was like, he's going to get a round 2 KO. He doesn't. Taira survives. Taira's a tough dude. Respect to him. He toughed it out because Joshua Van put some real damage on his face. Probably wouldn't be surprised if he broke his jaw or something. He's hitting him hard. But round 2, he drops him, hurts him badly. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, dude, it's Van hour. And round 3, he continues with that momentum. He's starting off strong. 1-1-2, right hook, left hook, uppercut. He's just doing whatever he wants with Taira. Taira's kind of still wobbly from round 2. He doesn't feel it. He's still kind of out of it. And Van is just going off. You see that 57 significant strikes to 14, 64 to 16. He's just making Taira miss, and he's hitting Taira with some stuff he isn't seeing. He's dipping in and out. He drops Taira. He then shoots in a takedown while dropping Taira, gets to the back, goes for the rear naked choke. He actually throws Taira, and he tries to do the Mighty Mouse whiz bar. If you watched his interview on the Mighty Mouse on Demetrius Johnson's podcast, he goes, you know what? I'm going to try the flying arm bar, the Mighty Whiz bar on Tatsuro Taira, and if I get it, you're going to have to buy me dinner. He tries to throw Tatsuro Taira, gasses himself out by trying to throw a huge Tatsuro Taira. Tatsuro Taira is massive for the division and doesn't get the armbar, but he goes for the submission. Goes for 2 rear naked chokes, almost gets them. He just couldn't really get his hands clasped together to get a good grip. He had some face cranks and stuff. They separate, and at the end of round 3, you think, oh, Taira's kind of starting to land good. He lands 3 good jabs and a right hook at the very end of round 3, and you go, uh-oh. Van may have played around with his food too much. Taira may get back in here. This is getting worrying. And then round 4, dude. look at this. Taira brings it back 31-41. He gets a takedown. They're pretty even on significant strikes. They gave, by the way, great scoring. One judge gave round 2, gave round 1 to Taira, round 2 to Van. Gave Van a 10-8, which I'm all for. Knocked him down. He didn't knock him down twice. It says twice, but he knocked him down once in round 2, once in round 3. The UFC website's awful. But dropped him, was making him look funny, tried to submit him, had 2 really close submission attempts. I don't hate the 10-8 round they gave Van for round 3. And then round 4, Taira just works his way back. He gets his takedown. Shot 3, he gets his 1. They basically end up in full mount for a while in round 4. If I remember correctly, all of round 4 was in full mount, with Joshua Van just kind of shrimping out, trying to stay safe. Taira had some dangerous things, but Taira did not really throw any ground and pound. That's what really surprised me. Even round 1, when they're fresh and, they're not slick, Taira threw no ground and pound when he had full mount over Joshua Van. Maybe it's just because he could feel Joshua Van was just such a slippery guy, and he was scared, well, if I post up and start ground and pounding, he's going to slip out of my grasp. But it didn't matter because he did that anyways. But yeah, no ground and pound from Taira. But basically, that takes over all of round 4. Taira just doing busy work, staying on top, basically getting his breath, resetting. And then round 5, Joshua Van starts pouring it on, 27-7, significant strikes too. And he just starts working the body. Like I said, Taira, he hunches over when you get him shelled up, hunches over with his shoulders up, head down, and you just work the body, and he starts crumbling. He'd do left hook to the body, right down the pipe, right hook to the body, left hook to the body, right hook, left hook, uppercut to the body, uppercut to the head. It was beautiful. Joshua Van comes out in round 5 strong. He wants the finish. He could smell it in the water. Taira was broken in multiple parts of this fight. You could tell he's broken because he just gets his head stuffed down and he just stays down there. He's slow to bring his head back up. He has no head movement, so Van is just pinging it like a basketball. Bing, 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 bing. And it's a bit of an early stoppage for Tatsuro Taira. I'm not going to lie. Bit of an early stoppage. It's not as definitive of a stoppage that I would have liked. But also Joshua Van may or may not have illegally kneed Tatsuro Taira in the head in round 3 or 4. Probably round 3, I think. He may have illegally kneed Taira in the head. Do we care? No. Because it was 1 hand down. It wasn't 2 hands down. So, by the new rules, he wasn't grounded. But because the New Jersey Athletic Commission hasn't implemented the new rules into New Jersey, he was technically grounded. But you know what? We don't talk about that. But as I was saying, I wasn't too upset with the early stoppage because I was very scared Joshua Van was going to throw an illegal maneuver on Tatsuro Taira and get this whole fight thrown out. That was very highly possible, in my opinion. So basically, Joshua Van wins a masterclass decision. Or I thought it'd be a decision. I went Van by 5-round decision. How smart am I? But Van gets it done in the 5th. I thought Tatsuro Taira would just tough it out like he did with Royval and just kind of shell up and not get finished. But Van has it in him, dude. He just has whatever it is. He has it. And he puts away Taira in the 5th. A beautiful, beautiful thing, dude. I was crying tears of joy. I was so happy. I go, well, if Strickland loses, I at least got the Joshua Van win. And guess what, dude? Sean Strickland beats Khamzat Chimaev via split decision. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I called it. You want to know why? Khamzat Chimaev did exactly what I said. Round 1, he is heavy grappling Strickland, shoots him within about 10 seconds in round 1, and is doing heavy scrambles, heavy on Strickland's back, body locks, keeping the choke in. Basically, round 1 was all Chimaev on Strickland's back, and I was horrified. 17-19 in favor of Chimaev. He had 2 takedowns. Strickland, 0 significant strikes for either of them. Chimaev was just on Strickland's back the whole entire time, okay? I was horrified. Because Chimaev is so good at hovering on your back and pulling you away from the fence while still staying right on top of you. It's insane how he's able to do that. But he does that with hooks in somehow. He levitates you and he levitates himself and you away from the fence and just pulls you towards the middle where you have to work even harder to survive. But Strickland just stays calm, stays patient, even cuts Chimaev by punching back and cuts Chimaev nose or something. Uh, stays calm, stays patient, just tries to focus on surviving. And as soon as Strickland makes it out of round one, I go, I like this. I like him making it out of round one. This is at least a moral victory for Strickland. And then round two, Chimaev strikes a little bit longer than I think. I think he shot 2 minutes into round two, maybe a minute and a half. And when he shoots in, it's the slowest, most pitiful shot I've ever seen Chimaev take. It wasn't the Dricus du Plessis like, I'm shooting in and I'm exploding up and I'm diving over. It was very... And again, the people who... I don't know if you saw my video, but I said how Chimaev basically missed weight. He missed weight. The New Jersey Athletic State Commission saw that Chimaev was going to miss weight, so they just said, oh, he's at 185 real quick, get him off the scale. Called it a day. Chimaev didn't look good. And so a lot of people who were defending Khamzat Chimaev and thought he was going to win were saying yesterday, dude, he made weight. What are you on about? He made weight. He just had he didn't look the best because he's just too big for 185. Which, by the way, he looks smaller than Strickland out there. Maybe it's just because he's bent down a little bit and Strickland's standing straight up. But Strickland looked like the bigger man out there. But of course, now that Chimaev's lost, they go, dude, Chimaev had an awful weight cut. So did he miss weight or did he have an awful weight cut? Because they kind of correlate with each other. But you're saying he didn't make weight, but he had an awful weight cut? Strange. But yeah, round two, Chimaev basically gets stuffed, and then Strickland ends up in side control for all of that round. 18-29 on total strikes in favor of Strickland. 15-10 significant strikes. Strickland wins round two. I go, uh-oh, this is kind of sick. Round one, 0 takedown attempts from Chimaev. 29-43. Strickland outstrikes Chimaev. I see people thinking that Chimaev won round three. The swing round's more round 5 in my opinion, because that's the rounds that I gave Strickland. A lot of people think this is a robbery. It was a split decision, but I had Strickland winning 2, 3, and 5. Very, not clearly, but I think pretty confidently I had Strickland winning 2, 3, and 5. But yeah, I mean, 43-29, 29-43, all the strikes were significant strikes because they were just jabbing at each other. Rounds 3, 4, and 5 was just the jab off. They were jabbing at each other. Strickland's nose did get popped, but Chimaev was just like he looked like Gene Silva did against Diego Lopez, where it's just bulge, cut, bulge, rash, red rash, bulge. Like Chimaev looked like a ping pong ball that you like wrapped a net around or something. I don't know. But they're just trading jabs in round 3, 29-43. I already went over this. When Strickland, of course, gets the better, he lands. See, in round 1, Strickland was landing, or round 2. No. Round 1. The tiny stand-up that it was, round 1, 2, and 3, Strickland was landing a really good looping right hook around Chimaev's guard for the first 3 rounds whenever they were standing. In round 3, he hit like that 3 or 4 times where he'd do a jab looping around the guard of Chimaev, right hand. He stopped doing that in round 4 and 5 for some reason. But round 4, it's Chimaev, 45-36. He gets one takedown. Strickland stuffs one takedown. Chimaev gets the other, 37-34. It's obviously Chimaev. He gets the control time. He outstrikes Strickland. He does nothing really with the takedown, but nothing was really done. Nothing was really done in round 4. Chimaev just kind of took it off. He took round 3 off to get a takedown for round 4. And then round 5, Chimaev shoots 7 takedowns, gets 6 of them. Strickland takes a takedown because he tries to throw Chimaev, do like a hip toss on Chimaev. But 28-38, significant strikes, 22-31, significant strikes. Strickland obviously wins because he does get taken down 6 times, but he instantly pops right back up to his feet, works the hands, works the body lock, gets to his knees, then up against the fence, stands up, and starts peppering Chimaev with jabs, with hooks, with good twos. He started teeping once he felt like he was a little bit more confident Chimaev wouldn't shoot in again. Started teeping the body to Chimaev. Chimaev would do some good jabs to the body, a lot of jabs to the body. He was working the body a lot for this whole entire fight, which I think was his downfall. Because Strickland never really... You're not going to gas out if you're throwing jabs and teeps. So Chimaev was maybe he was just getting that to make Strickland lower his guard, but he was just jabbing to the body, jabbing to the body. It's like, it's doing nothing. You're going to do nothing with it. Maybe if he was jabbing to the head a little bit more, he may win this split decision, but instead he's jabbing to the body like an idiot. And Strickland does a good job at putting his hands out and framing. So when Chimaev does his looping overhand right that he likes to do with the body, it gets caught on Strickland's arm. Great awful fight, actually. Awful fight. I do love this fight. I love that Strickland won. Light heavyweight is not saved, unfortunately, because Chimaev spoke to Dana White. Dana White himself said that Chimaev will be moving up. Yeah, let's pull this up. This is what Dana White said at the press conference. Okay.
Back and forth with Hamzat, where he said he wants to move up. Did you guys say anything else? Can you tell us anything about the interaction between you and him after the fight?
No, that was it. He just said, I don't want to fight at this weight again. I want to move up.
Yeah. What's your reaction to that? I mean, the guy did fight at welterweight and then having a hard time making it at middleweight. Are you like, do you think that he applied himself, or you think he just naturally, like, you like that idea of him moving up?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know. He, ever since Fight Island, he's gone on a run. He's undefeated, won the world title, did everything that he said he would do. But with the level of success and, lifestyle.
Basically, you saw it yourself. Dana White himself said that Chimaev is moving up. Let me fix this, actually. Oh, why'd I ruin it? Is this better? Yeah, we'll say that's good. Basically, as you heard, Dana White confirmed that Chimaev is moving up to 205. I don't get it. Chimaev's not that big of a middleweight. I don't. But again, Chimaev looked awful. Maybe it was just the bad weight cut, but it looked like Movsar Evloev out there against Lerone Murphy. Just very slow, no grit. Strickland just gritted down, did what he needed to do, stuck in there, and got a decision win over Hamzat Chimaev, which this is basically the opposite of UFC 322, where Islam beat JDM, Shevchenko beat Wei Li, what else? Well, then you had the good moments, though, too, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. There we go. I just felt like this was such a good card for results. You get Strickland winning, you had Joshua Van winning and showing that he's the real champion. You have Alexander Volkov, righting the wrong and finally getting on another win streak to hopefully fight for the title. You had Sean Brady showing that he can, grit down. Not really grit down because Buckley didn't really hit him at all. But, he can out-grapple anybody. Bobbert Green, showed that he can make any bad lightweight look awful. Ateba Gutierrez did Ateba Gutierrez things. Yaroslav Amosov cemented himself as a real threat in the UFC. Grant Dawson kind of showed, this is the person who showed some grit, some toughness. Got dropped and still was able to work his way back. Jim Miller showed that Unk still got it. The Unk v Unk matchup, the older Unk always wins. Kopylov reset the clock. He showed that he's still good. Sabatini is boring and awful. Sursakayev had to pull it out of the bag in the third. And Jose Ochoa is sick. Basically, I'm ecstatic. I'm hyped. I'm so glad that Sean Strickland won. It's like the best day ever. So yeah, like I said, my predictions for Chimaev, Strickland, and Van Taira were pretty spot on, in my opinion. I said that Chimaev would work really hard in round 1 and 2 to grapple out Strickland. When you rage bait Chimaev, he goes all in on you. He tries to sub you out quick, and then he gasses out. Strickland's going to be a lot more of a person who gives resistance to Chimaev, And because of that, he's going to gas out. Dricus, he had no resistance, so he didn't gas out because he didn't have to expend any energy. And then Joshua Van, of course, I said the body shots. I didn't bring up that Taira doesn't move his head off the center line, which would have been a good thing, but I just think the striking advantage was just so good, and I trusted Joshua Van's instincts. He has very good sprawls. Even though the sprawls, he didn't even really sprawl that well. He just was able to shrimp up so easily and get out from underneath full mount and work his way up. I'm so glad I picked Strickland. I was really hoping I wasn't, but as soon as last year when Peter Yan beat Merab and Joshua Van beat Pantoja, I go, why would I not just pick the people that I want to win? You know? Now, of course, there are some downsides to that, like JDM, like Yuri Prohaska. But when you really think about it, if you just pick who you want to win, they're likely to win, 50-50 chance, 50-50. They either win, or they lose. And everyone I wanted to win won. So, also, great year for Sean's. Sean Strickland, Sean Brady, Sean O'Malley, they're all looking great. Also good years for Joshua Vans and Josh Hockett. Josh Hockett and Paulo Costa had a altercation where Josh Hockett said, I'm the real bad guy or whatever, or I'm the real villain. And they had to separate each other from each other. But amazing fight card. Not really. It actually sucked. Again, Joshua Van Tatsrotea was like the best fight on this card because it's a flyweight fight. Dude, flyweight fights are sick, dude. They're always sick. Sean Brady Buckley wasn't that bad. King Green, Jeremy Stevens was pretty good. Gutierrez, Ozzy Diaz was like, oh. You got like kind of like, it was kind of funny that Ozzy Diaz thought he had a chance of winning. Yaroslav Amosov was fun. Grant Dawson was funny because of how bad he was striking. The Jim Miller was a feel-good story. Kapilov, I guess it was feel-good because it was good to see him get back. His eye is swollen up massively, though, dude. Like in the post-fight speeches, dude, his eye is like this. Pat Sabatini's a terrorist to the sport. Bison versus Chimaev. He's a cool guy, kind of. And then Jose Ochoa. All in all, 5 out of 10 card in terms of fun fights and entertainment, in terms of pure results and excitement and happiness it was given to me. 10 out of 10. So hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all were there for the fight companion, I appreciate y'all. I don't think anyone was, but if you were, it is public, so you can go back and watch it. I lose my mind for Joshua Van and Sean Strickland. I'm losing my mind. So that's a fun thing to watch back if you want to do that. But yeah, don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. I'm thinking of calling you guys the statistics. You know what I'm talking about? Like Guru's got like the Beanie Cult. Bedtime's got the bedtime crew. What it do, bedtime crew? Hey man, what it do? Bedtime crew? Hey man, listen. And then you may be the statistics. I don't know. By the numbers, y'all are the statistics. Workshop with me. Let's come on, comment, guys. Comment. But yeah, don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace out.